What's going on YouTube? You got Matt here and welcome to another top 6 video. Today we're covering the top 6 psychic type Pokemon, and if you look at your screen you'll notice that this is a very different layout than what we had going on in the first edition of the top 6 videos. Now of course we didn't finish all the types in that video, but we did have a pretty long break and I want to come back with a bit of a rebrand for the series. So I have a bunch of slides I guess that will show what I think of the top 6 psychic type Pokemon in the Gen 7 Draft League format. Now we're going to be looking at its stats, the Pokemon stats, their abilities, their move pool, some good teammates for it, or some just fun teammates that would work, I think, and then one favorite set that I really enjoy using, whether it's in the format or whether it's in the current ladder. Now before we get started though, I just want to remind you that this is my opinion, so if you guys disagree with me, that's okay. Make sure to leave your top 6 in the comment section below and I will get back to you and tell you how I agree or disagree with you. Second, there are going to be no megas on this list. That's just because there are so many good psychic type megas, and having them there would just be unfair for the rest of the psychics. Thirdly, the psychic type will come first. So if we're covering a Pokemon that has psychic and fairy typing, we're going over how they are as a psychic type first. And then finally, we're using the classic Draft League format, so that usually means no Ubers, so no Mewtwo, no Deoxys, that kind of stuff, alright? So without further ado, let's get into the top 6 psychic type Pokemon in the Gen 7 meta. Or, well, no, not meta, but Draft League format. Yay! Number 6, we have Uxie. Uxie is a phenomenal Pokemon, very underrated. It's usually found in Tier 3 of tier drafts and maybe even at 8 to 11 points in a points draft. And at that range, you're doing really good for yourself if you draft Uxie as your bulky psychic. It's got 75 base HP with 130 defenses, and 130 defenses is ridiculous. It's incredibly bulky and has a great amount of support options for you as a team member. Its attack stats aren't too great, but it has enough so that it can pick up some KOs on other Pokemon, like Ferrothorn, because it does get access to Fire Punch. It would be helpful. It can do about I think about 40% to it if you're uninvested, might be right, I'm really not sure. And then has base 95 speed, and that base 95 speed allows it to get off its Stealth Rocks or use Memento or Heal Bell, Calm Mind your dual screens before you get taunted. So looking at its ability, it has Levitate. That's really nice to have. Anything that is immune to ground type is very nice. It takes away something that hits really hard. Not being able to be hit by Earthquake is great. Unfortunately, you still can't get hit by 1,000 Arrows, but that's just the meta we're in right now. So some moves that it gets access to Stealth Rock, U-Turn, Knock Off, which is all very good in terms of support moves. Foul Play, Heal Bell, Calm Mind, Dual Screens, and you look at all these moves, they're all support moves, and that's what Uxie does best. It's a very good support mon, and it can set up with Calm Mind and become a very effective sweeper, but you just have to make sure that you get off some supportive options first. So one set that I really like to use is Uxie with the Clefable Berry, with Stealth Rock, Yawn, U-Turn, and Foul Play. I feel like this set will create a lot of switches for your opponents, so you can gain a lot of momentum. You get up your rocks, and then you just start yawning things. And once you know they're going to switch out or fall asleep, you go for the U-turn. And if they're fine with getting hit, or if they have a huge attack stat, just go for the Foul Play and make sure that they take a chunk of damage. That way, it utilizes Uxie's very underwhelming physical attack to use your opponent's physical attack. Now some mons that I found work well with Uxie are 1 Vaporeon for huge witches, and then I also have Mega Lopunny and Tapu Bulu because they both appreciate the slow U-turn that Uxie provides and are able to handle and are able to take some big hits, and they can both handle those dark types that Uxie really doesn't like. Coming in at number 5, we have Slowbro. Now I have Slowbro on this list and not Slowking, probably just out of preference, but they're both really good. Slowbro, however, has a much higher physical defense stat, which means it can probably take a knockoff or two and then fire off some big hits. So with 95 HP, 110 defense, and 80 special defense, this thing can take a lot of hits. And a lot of the time, guys, I really question if Slowbro does have 95 HP because this thing is so bulky. It really can do almost anything. 75 attack is the same as Uxie, and it does get access to Belly Drum, so you could run a potential Belly Drum Slowbro set. I'm not even kidding about that. And 30 speed is slow enough so that you can really take advantage of Trick Room really well. You look at Slowbro and its abilities, it has Regenerator, which is what you're going to be pretty much running most of the time. Oblivious, which doesn't see much play, and Own Tempo, which again won't see much play at all. Some of its moves it gets its own natural recovery in Slack Off, along with the Regenerator. You have access to Scald, you have Fire Blast as a water type, that's terrific, but as a psychic type as well, it's pretty good. You have Belly Drum, like I said before, Calm Mind. A Calm Mind set is very effective. Seismic Toss, Thunder Wave, Counter, Psyshock, Grass Knot. It's very, very effective in the roles that it fills, and my favorite set for Slowbro is a Life Orb set with Scald, Psyshock, Trick Room, and Ice Beam, and this set really puts in a lot of work against a lot of the meta. There's not much that resists this typing, well, those 3 moves, so you can break a lot of holes with the team. Some Pokemon that I thought fit really well with it would be one, Tangrowth. It's a very, very reliable regenerator mon as well, so you form a strong regenerator core. I don't think they're weak to they're weak to both Bug, but that's pretty much it, and they're both bulky enough on the physical side to take U-turns and not really care. We then have Garchomp, and I felt Garchomp worked really well because Slowbro is a really big resistance to the ice typing, and it can handle a lot of what it wants to do. And then we have Clefable. I just chose Clefable because Clefable can take away some of the pressures of being a wall, so that you can allow Slowbro to unleash its full potential on offense as well. At number 4, we have both Latios and Latias, and if you look at the moves that I have and the stats that I have, I'm showing like a mix of both. So the Latias have Levitate, and Levitate, again, like I said with Uxie, is a tremendous ability. It allows you to be immune to the ground typing, and you can really allow yourself to switch in on Pokemon like what was I? Oh my god, like Donphan you can switch in on really well, and you can set up pretty much, and you can do a lot against the ground types. Looking at their stats, they both have base 80 HP, I believe. Latios has base 90 attack, while Latias has base 80 attack. Latios has base 80 defense, while Latias has base 90 defense. And the special attack stats are inverse, as well as the physical, as well as the special defense stats are inverse. So Latios is 130, Latias is 110. For special defense, Latios is 110, Latias is 130, and they both have 110 speed. Confusing. Sorry, I made that more difficult than I had to be. But you look at their moves, they have such a wide variety of movesets, and at base 110, even for Latias, it still hits hard enough to break walls if you invest enough. They both get access to Defog, Roost, Draco Meteor. Latias gets Reflect type and Healing Wish. Latios gets Dragon Dance. They both get Tailwind. Latias gets Wish. They both get Thunderbolt and Energy Ball. They have their Psychic type moves. They have Shadow Ball. They have so much good options, and that's why they are honestly one of the best Psychic type and Dragon types in the format. Looking at its move pool, at its recommended set, my favorite set, I have just a Defog, Roost, Draco Meteor, and Psyshock set. Natural recovery, or reliable recovery, there we go, like Roost is very, very valuable in the format, and these Pokemon can take lots of hits. They are pretty bulky, and the set is more likely to be used on a Latias, but a Latios can still run it very effectively. Some Pokemon that I believe work really well with these Pokemon are 1, Magnezone to trap those steel types that give these things problems, 2, Conkeldurr because of priority Mach Punch and the ability to resist the dark typing, and then 3, Volcarona, because Latias and Latios usually break a lot of holes through teams, and then that'll allow Volcarona to come in and set up a Quiver Dance and win the game for you. At number 3, we have Necrozma, and I love Necrozma a bit more than everyone should, I think. It has insane stats, 97, 101, and 89 defense stats are terrific. Then you look at its offensive stats, 107 attack is really good, and then you have 127 special attack, which is even better. And then it has a speed where it's not too slow so that it can be taunted by everything, and not too fast where it can't use Trick Room. So Necrozma is a very, very strong Pokemon, and its phenomenal bulk along with Prism Armor, which is like a built-in filter, will allow it to be an effective setup sweeper, with my favorite set being Iron Defense, Rest, Calm Mind, and Store Power, and with the Chesto Berry, of course. This way, this set can break through any team that doesn't have either Haze, Phasing with Roar, Whirlwind, or Dragon Tail, or a Dark type. And if they don't have that, then basically they're going to lose to Necrozma. You look at its move pool, you get access to a really wide variety of things. You have Rock Polish, Moonlight, you also get, I believe it's Morning Sun. You have Psyshock, Earthquake, Calm Mind, Iron Defense, Store Power, Flash Cannon, Dark Pulse, Stealth Rock. You get Trick Room as well. You get what else do you get? I believe you get Psycho Cut. You get Smart Strike for that physical Steel type move, and you get, I believe it's Night Slash for your dark physical move. So yeah, looking at its potential partners, I would like pairing with Porygon 2. I haven't done that yet, but I really think it would be a good pairing. Porygon 2 is only weak to the fighting type, and Necrozma resists that really well. We then have Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko appreciates things being broken down, and it appreciates Stealth Rock supports. And then we have Mega Charizard Y. This just breaks down Pokemon, and it allows you to be really offensive with Necrozma as well. At number 2, we have Mew, and I'm not going to spend too long on this because it's Mew. Like, base 100 stats all around, fantastic. The moves, literally almost everything. Synchronized in ability, we know that, and there's not one Mew set that isn't good, really. So, my favorite Mew set, though, is Mew, obviously, with the Medium Z. We allow that in most leagues that I'm in, even though it is kind of busted, with Double Dance being Nasty Plot and Rock Polish, with Psychic, so you have your Z Psychic, and then your Aura Sphere, and I find that works really well together. Some potential partners, I like pairing it with Zygarde 50% because Mew can handle a lot of problems that it deals with. Mega Scizor, because again, you can handle a lot of the problems that it deals with. I like pairing with 4x weaknesses. And then we have Hydreigon, because Hydreigon will allow you to it'll allow Mew to perform more of a offensive role again. That's what's happening here. A lot of the mons I'm choosing for these top 3 are allowing these Pokemon who are usually seen as defensive type to pair them with something that allows it to be even more offensive and really take advantage of their strong attacking stats and their strong coverage moves. So yeah, that's Mew, very quick, very simple. And number 1, you all saw it coming. It's very, very obvious that it's this Pokemon. We have the brand new Psychic and Fairy type Pokemon, Tapu Lele, at number 1. Lele is banned in a lot of leagues, but in a lot of leagues it's still allowed, so that's why I'm choosing to keep it. It's really, really good. There's really not many drawbacks of drafting Lele with the number 1 pick in the draft, just because it's so powerful. It has base 130 special attack, and with Psychic Surge, your Psyshocks, your Psychics, your freaking Confusions are gonna be breaking Pokemon. The only real counter to it are mons that outspeed it and can hit with a strong Steel type move, or a strong Poison type move, or a strong Ghost type move. So that's pretty much it, but those moves are usually going to have to be physical because it has ridiculous base 115 special defense. Its defense isn't great at 75, but it's so good in other areas. The one saving grace that it isn't that fast, it's fast, don't get me wrong, at base 95, but if it had base 115, like its special defense is showing, then this thing would not be allowed in any format, ever. You look at its move pool, you get access to Moonblast, Psychic, Psyshock, Energy Ball, Nature's Madness, which is very useful to break down Steel types, Shadow Ball, Taunt, Thunderbolt, Focus Blast, Calm Mind, Aromatherapy, for God's sakes. This thing can be a cleric if it needs to be. And Psychic Surge, of course, we already knew that. Looking at a fun recommended moveset, I really like Tapu Lele with the Assault Vest, Moonblast, Psychic, Energy Ball, and Focus Blast that hits all the potential Pokemon you need to hit. Moonblast is for general coverage against Dragon types, against Fighting types. If you don't want to risk them switching it on a Dark type if they're already in a Fighting type. You have Psychic as well, which is just going to blow teams back. I might put Psyshock on there, sometimes just because of potential Assault Vest users against Lele themselves. Energy Ball deals with those bulky waters and those bulky ground types that can give you issues. And then you have Focus Blast just to deal with those Steel types. Finally, some Pokemon that fit really well with Tapu Lele are Tyranitar, just because it is really useful to get rid of that 4x weakness to priority in Lock Punch, or a weakness to Bullet Punch with the terrain. We then have Dugtrio, because Dugtrio just traps everything and can get rid of those Steel types, can get rid of those Fire types, can get rid of pretty much anything that resists its stab. So it's so useful to have. And then finally, Mandibuzz. I find Mandibuzz is a very good Pokemon to pair with Lele, just because, one, it has access to Defog, it can keep hazards away from the field, which could really wear down a Tapu Lele, and then it gets a slow U-turn, which can be very, very useful to deal with Lele, and it is also a really good physical wall that can deal with Pokemon that are going to put pressure on Lele and its base 75 defense. So, finally, I just want to say thank you guys for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Next week we're going to be going over the Rock type or the Ground type, so make sure to vote in the straw poll link in the description. And yeah, thank you again for watching, guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video with a friend, and I will see you all next time. Bye.